It might be unconventional, but there's plenty of couples, even married ones, who opt to live in different places. Census Bureau data has identified the trend. Analysis from divorce attorney Jennifer Hargrave, founder of Hargrave Family Law in Dallas. Jennifer, what are you seeing?
Well, I think the most common thing that we see, and remember, this is in the divorce world. So these are marriages that aren't working anymore, but it's where people actually live in different cities is the most common. I can't really recall a situation that I've seen where people are living separately in the same city. Like if they are in the same town that they're living in separate houses. It's not unusual for people to live in separate rooms in a house for sure. That happens a lot.
I think census said there's like 3.9 million Americans who do it. Is this just sort of masking other problems, or do couples actually find that this can save a marriage or something?
Sure. I mean, there are all kinds of good reasons why people may want to be, sleeping in separate rooms in a marriage. And that can be because they have different work schedules, right? If you have somebody who's working the night shift and somebody who's working the day, that's a way to not be bothering each other and interrupting sleep. And also, if you just have different sleep patterns at night, that can be a healthy way to deal with that situation, so long as you're communicating, right? And so long as you're finding other ways to connect. The problem I see that happens in marriages is that people just start avoiding each other because there's too much conflict, the communication isn't working, and so the relationship breaks down. And so if you're moving into separate rooms to avoid conflict with your spouse or avoid being irritated or whatever, that usually doesn't bode well for the marriage. And so those are oftentimes the families that we see, is that they've pretty much been living apart to avoid each other, living separate lives.
Oh, really? Is there a chance, I guess, that it's working initially, but you get used to living apart and that leads to divorce?
Yes, I definitely see that as well. And that can be a real problem, right? When people get accustomed to not being in each other's space, then all of a sudden you're in the space and, you're out of the rhythm. And that can create a lot of kerfuffles, a lot of conflicts, because it's hard when you're used to having the person away. It can be really hard then when they're there and they're in your space and annoying the heck out of you. So I think that's one of the great risks that people have with long distance relationships. It's just that they're not living life together in a rhythm.
Thanks, Jennifer. Jennifer Hargrave, divorce attorney and founder of Hargrave Family Law in Dallas.